to be closed.
Yep.
So just from these selectors, I can see what stage a case is at.
Okay.
I don't think that's any official thing. I just think that's a good system to work to,
Right.
personally.
Okay. So just drop that down once more so I can have a quick look at the list, please,
Yeah.
if you
So
don't mind. So you've got active customer. So
so
you've got logged, which is
so
where it
that's
starts out.
yeah. So that's Alan's made it. I've made it. Becky's made it.
Yep.
It'll appear in any list as logged.
Okay.
And then what I do once I issue it to the engineer, I put it down as customer.
Okay.
And to me, that means that whoever the engineer is out on site dealing with the issue.
That's fine. Cool. Okay. That makes sense to me.
Yeah. And then when they finish dealing with it and the case is ready to be closed, I set it to Enviro, sort of bringing it back in house, if you like,
Oh, I see. Okay. I
indicating
see
that
what you mean.
go on.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Those are ports over from Front Range that I never really understood why we had both.
Yeah.
If you want to use it that way, that makes total sense. So it's active and it's assigned to be dealt with outside of Enviro, and then it's active back in Enviro.
Yes. So active customer. So that means the engineer's dealing with it in my mind.
Yeah.
So I can look at a list of because you see lots of lists in this program of cases,
Mm-hmm.
but I can look at a list and see what stage it's at by looking at the status and what whether it's customer logged or so a good so if I close that again, discard the changes.
Okay.
So look at my list here. You can see these are all Becky's, but you can see Wrexham, Deeside, they're all pending engineer visits because
So
they're
they
all
are right.
customer. But logged shows me that no one's dealt with that
No one's
case
dealt with that, so that's a pending case that needs somebody to pick up and run with.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
So there you go. So
That makes sense. Okay.
so the first thing I do is set it to customer to show that the engineer is about to deal with it,
That's great. Okay.
and then save that.
Yep.
Okay. And then what I do, and even though we had a visit from from Peter yesterday, it's still not working perfect. We still need to get back to him. There's some stuff that was supposed to be fixed, but it's not. I'll give you an
Okay.
example of that now. So what I'm about to do is this case type. I'm going to copy that. Okay.
Yeah.
So I copied it because you'll see when I go up to new meeting.
This is to create the email. Yeah.
Correct, yeah. See, in the subject, just put meeting. And what
Yeah.
happens, that appears on all the emails. It just says subject meeting, subject meeting.
Right. Okay.
And what we asked Peter to do yesterday was to change it to what was ever in
In
that
that list. Yeah.
status. And
Okay.
he said he thought he'd done that. So that's another thing we got to get back to him about. But basically, so I'm changing that to routine maintenance.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm changing the date of when John's going, and we know it's going to be Monday.
Okay.
Then over to here, I'm assigning it to John South.
Hang on. We're leaving the end date populated, are we?
It does that automatically.
Yeah. Okay. But we're leaving it there like it is.
Yes. So you think it should be 2 days?
No, I
I
don't know. I'm just wondering what you do with it. If he's
I
there for
don't.
a day, you're just going to leave it start and end date as the same date, aren't you?
It doesn't seem to make any difference. If I put an end date in, it doesn't show up in the email.
No, it might well show up in the KPIs is all, but I don't know.
Oh, let's see. Well, we could. Yeah.
If it's only meant to be a day, leave it as a day.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So then over to assigned, and I'm going to change that now to
On
our,
south.
our man in the north, Mr.
Yep.
South. The meeting type is going to be a call service visit.
Yes.
And at the moment, we're using do not copy to schedule it.
Yeah, or it'll try and do it itself. Yeah.
Yeah, simply because, once we're comfortable with the way this, oh hell, what did I do there? Simply because once we're comfortable with the way it works,
Mm-hmm.
we'll then incorporate this and then just build the travel times around it. But until we fully get to grips with it, we don't need it overcomplicating things. We treat them separately.
Yeah,
Do you
that's
know what
fine.
I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. But I think, well, me personally, then let's talk about what I want. I think once I'm happy that this is all working the way I want it to, I want to start using this because I think it'd be quite
Sure.
good.
Yeah,
Uh,
I agree.
You can obviously set your times in that. The only thing it doesn't do is put the travel times in.
No, of course it won't. But
So
that's one less thing to actually do.
yeah, so you still have to go in and adjust it for that. Okay, so that is all you need to do for the meeting, to set up the meeting, okay?
Yep.
So now we're going to save that. There you go. And this is when we start sending out our emails. So the first one I always do is the engineer. You can do it. It's these two. You can do it in any order you want. I don't know why I do the engineer first. It's just a personal preference.
Fine.
So I just go engineer confirmation. And this is another thing. Before Peter tinkered with it yesterday, it put the engineer details in. For some reason today it stopped doing that. So that's another thing we need to get back to him about.
Have you requested that he put that right?
I haven't yet because I'm still getting together a shit list, if you like.
Okay, fine, cool.
And then probably Monday I'll send off a list to him of things that aren't quite working correctly.
Okay, lovely.
So this is one of them. So there you go. So John South, then you go copy me in, and what that'll do, that'll send this email to your Outlook.
Okay.
As well, so it will send you to Outlook. So you've got a physical copy of it in your Outlook as well.
Okay, I suspect it won't be necessary once we're comfortable with the system, because that information's going to be kept preserved here, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Why do I don't know. I don't know why I send it. I think it's just so I can see what the engineer sees when it arrives.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And I think to myself, oh, is there any way I can make that better? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I can improve on it at all.
That's cool. So it fills in the details for you down there, which is brilliant.
Filled all the case stuff in. So
yeah,
depending on how much time I've got and what sort of mood I'm in, sometimes I'll tidy this up.
Yeah, it doesn't need a lot of tidying, does it?
It doesn't. It's just lacking grammar and stuff. But what I will do while I'm here is I'll copy this and put it into. So I'll copy that.
I'll put it in schedule it.
Yeah, now I'll put that in schedule it. So, and I keep doing that as well. I keep forgetting it's all contained.
Of course, yeah, it's all in the one place.
So I go looking for different programs, and they're all here. So you can see it's here. So I open that. Paste it in there.
Yeah, sweet. So that's consistent with previous practice, so I can do that.
Paste it in there.
Yeah.
Save the changes. Right, that's schedule it all done and done. So then back to workbooks.
Yep.
So I'm pretty comfortable that all looks okay. So I'm going to send that as an email now to John South.
Gotcha.
And I don't know how long it's going to take. There you go, straight away.
Straight away. Excellent.
So that's what the engineer gets.
Good.
Which I think, there's a bit of a gap there I didn't spot, but I don't think that's too bad. Otherwise, that tells them anything.
It's not bad at all, is it?
Yeah. Okay, so going back to workbooks now, we're going to do the customer.
Yeah.
We go
now, this is the point that I discussed with Paul Sully ages ago about the fact that Front Range generates both emails for you, so you can't forget them. Yes. I said, what happens if somebody happens to ring you, just as you've sent one of the emails, but not the other? Yes. Either the customer's waiting for the engineer to turn up, and he doesn't, or the engineer's going to turn up, but the customer's not expecting him.
Yeah.
Both as bad as each other.
Yes.
I guess if you just get into a swing, it's going to be a non-event, really.
Yes.
So this is the customer one you're doing now.
Yes. And for a long time, I was getting befuddled by all the different pages that are open.
Yeah.
But I've quickly learned that they're all color coded, and you can flick between them down here.
I didn't realize you could do that. That's
cool. No, I didn't. So you can see that's the email one, which we're on at the moment.
Yeah.
That's the meeting.
Yeah.
And then that one's the case. Oh, no.
Yeah. And you've got more than one open.
Yeah, I've got more than one open. So what I also need to do, which I forgot to do, so if I go back to the case, routine maintenance, I'm going to copy these details here.
Yeah.
And then go back to the email.
Because it should do that, but doesn't.
It should do that. It was doing that, and something's changed since Peter had a play with it yesterday. So we need to. So there's your contacts there. Yep. Copy me. Okay. Another thing we want. Another thing we want Peter to change is just to remove this agenda, because that appears.
Okay.
Then we do have to do some tidying up on the email, unfortunately. But it's not. So what I always do is I just.
We did before, to be fair.
Yeah.
So one would hope that can be improved upon, so we don't have to.
Yes, yeah, and I think it is going to be possible once we get to grips with it a bit better.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just made the case bold.
Yeah.
This is going to be 2 days.
Okay.
It's a 2-day service, so I say 25th of May.
Okay.
Engineers.
A lot to remember, isn't there?
Well, hopefully, as we get, like I say, if we get into the swing of it, we'll be able to sort these templates out ourselves.
Yeah.
So there you go. So that now I believe is everything. So yeah. So we're 24th of May, 25th of May. Yeah, dear TRL, put a comment in there. So now that can be sent as well.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah, so I'm sending that.
Yep.
And then let's take a look at that as well.
Right. There it is.
So that's what the customer gets.
Yeah.
So you can see, 25th. So it's all quite clear, isn't it?
Yeah, very. Absolutely simple.
And then back in here, then all we do then is we just save and close.
Yeah.
So that's done.
And that's it done.
Yeah, and that's done. Okay. Save and close.
Good. And I close. Actually, close it out. Would you mind taking me through this again if I'm not actually in your physical presence at the time?
What closing cases or issuing cases?
No, this is the generating the case or issuing rather. But when you come to close it out, because John's actually been to site and sent you the report in an email, that's the bit I'd quite like to see as well, because that's the bit that he went through with you and Becky yesterday. Of course, I didn't get to see that.
Yeah, I did a load this morning. It's a shame I did a load this morning, but it's very simple.
Yeah. Okay, well, don't worry about it tonight. It's
no, just.
But I do need to know if I'm ever doing this as TSE, you see.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah. So that's that. Now, did you get a set of instructions from Peter as well? A set of printed instructions.
I have got a set of printed instructions. Yes,
because they're actually not bad at all. They're pretty good.
Okay.
So yeah, so you know, you can refer to them. They're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so that's it really.
That's simple dimple. Okay, it's just a case of practicing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not too bad at all, to be honest. It's not too bad at all. So yes.
So I presume you're still closing cases out in Front Range at the moment, are you?
There's yeah, but I'll tell you, there's a couple of hangers on. But if you look in I closed it, but yeah, there you go. That's how much I'm using it now. I actually closed it, but front Range is looking pretty sparse these days.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so yeah, but there are a couple of hangers on from you know, cases that were created along like for example, John Smith in his Botley Road, you know, because he kept going back there and there's building works going on.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah, so he you know, so he wasn't able to access the site. So there's still a couple of cases hanging on, but you can see it's pretty when it loads. This is it. So you can see it's pretty sparse now, isn't it? I mean, there's 2 cases in admin that need closing out. So Sandwell, which was one for Steve, and Swansea, which was one for Marcus, I think, because I've been to-ing and fro-ing between the 2 of them, sending them 1 case in Front Range and 1 in work.
Oh dear. Okay.
Just so I wasn't overwhelmed with cases to close at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's you know, there's not a lot going on in Front Range, and it'll be nice actually because you're so you know, you're so Front Range is so fragile. You know, like when it goes down on the server, you know, you can't work all morning until
it's absolutely tragic.
Yeah. So it'll be good when you know, when we fully moved over.
Yeah.
But they will have to do a final update to include all the cases in Front Range that won't be on.
I see. To bring them across. Yeah, the ones that are done since the last population, as it were.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, we need to set a date when we're going to work completely from workbooks, and then just import everything from Front Range again, and then it'll be fine.
Okay. All right. Well, that all seems pretty simple, Rick. I have to let you know for GDPR purposes that rather than take notes, I've recorded this session so I can refer back to it at any time.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. No, that's fine. Yeah, if that's going to help, that's fine.
Yeah, it's just I can go right back through the actual physical
process
pressings and see what I have to do, because no doubt as time goes by and I don't do this, I'll forget what we've just covered. Although it looks very intuitive, there's quite a number of things to remember to do.
Yeah. There is for sure. But are you happy? You got no questions about what I've done?
It's very simple. In fact, I've got one for you. How do you feel about it? More comfortable than before?
Yeah, no, I'm getting on board with it a bit more. I'm getting used to it a bit more now. Like I say, once I'd figured out that, can you see these color?
Yeah.
Because like before, like all these different pages were opening up, and I was going, oh, I don't know what's what, and but these color are the key, and they're all different colors for whatever page you've got open.
Sure.
So yeah, no, I'm getting on board with it now.
No, they did that.
Yeah. It still needs a bit of Peter to sort things out, like putting the the engineer's email address, like you saw, and things like. But they're really minor things, like they're minor things. So yeah, no,
but they're an irritation if you're doing a lot of having to cut and pastes, which you don't want to be doing. So yeah, by all means, make notes and let him know, and I'm sure it'll be a simple job for him to fix.
Yes.
No. Okay, brilliant, nice one, Ricky. Thank you very much for that. Useful story.
So I suppose the next thing we have to think about is getting the engineers on board.
At some point, yeah. I don't want to rush that, because there's obviously a range of apprehension among the engineers. Someone like Colin or Stuart or Kev will be on this in the same day. My feelings are the likes of Steve, maybe Eamon, I don't know, will be a lot more resistant. So I hope that we can pass over a lot of the closing out and the uploading of the reports, the URL to the reports, to them.
Yeah.
But we have to be sure that it's being done universally.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. And if the Logit check-in app is anything to go by, getting folk to do things universally is very, very hard. Anyway, no, that's fantastic, Rick. Thank you very much for that. I greatly appreciate it.
It's no problem.
Okay, so that's it for the night, is it?
Well, hang on. Are you still recording?
I'm stopping. Hang on.